Hello, let's do a quick one about this Rufai Oseni versus David Umahi. Yes, I've posted the video, but I just noticed that Nigerians, in our usual way, we are distracted from the real issue in that altercation. Let's forget about how Rufai Oseni has the question. Let's treat the real issue. The real issue here isn't about engineering. No. In fact, the predecessor of Umahi in that office was Babatunde Fashola SAN. He was not an engineer. The real issue in that discussion was public works. And in Nigeria, you can be the minister for works without being an engineer. So it's not issue of whether professor of engineering. No, don't let us get distracted. The real issue there is about accountability. Public works and accountability. It doesn't matter your profession. You are the chief administrator for that ministry, and that project is expected to have gone through vetting and approval. So what was approved? That's the simple question. So per kilometer, what was approved? Now, if the approval did not come per kilometer, the overall sum, then what is the average per kilometer? Simple. Simple. I don't know why, as Nigerians, we love to just leave the real issue and be discussing and debating nonsensicals. It doesn't make sense. The issue here is public accountability. This project is the singular most expensive project that has been signed by this government or any recent government. 15 trillion. That's what is in the public sphere. 15 trillion naira. Part of it is supposed to be loans. So if we have signed a project worth 15 trillion for about 700 kilometers of road, then there should be explanation in the public, for the public. This is the total distance for this road project. This is the total sum. Or we thought it was going to be so amount, but now it is also amount. So you divide the number of kilometers by the total sum to get the average per kilometer. You can now be explaining, because of the peculiarity of certain places and the topography, the variation. You can now be explaining later, but you should be able to give us what is the cost per kilometer. All these issue of that's engineering. Nothing concerns us with engineering, statements and vocabulary. No, we are not asking. This is not an engineering exam. This is not a current exam. We are talking about public accountability here. You should be able to break it down in a way average Nigeria will understand what you're talking about. One problem we have in this country is that we are so used to it. Praise singers as interviewers. We are so used to it. On a good day, nobody that enters any studio for interview should be addressed as honorable or your excellency. First, demystify that title. Let them already feel like any other Nigerian. They are serving Nigerians. But when you begin to give them all these titles, you begin to, your excellency, honorable minister, sir, honorable commissioner, sir. When you begin to sing their praise so much, and of course, because when they leave the studio, they will most likely give you brown envelope. So most of our interviewers, they want to praise them to the heavens, at the same time appear to be serving the public. Rufai Oseni is not doing that. You say he's not a journalist, good. He's an anatomist, good. He's doing something that is different from others. Call it whatever name you want. The media organization that engaged him is serving what they want him to do. So there's no quarrel with that. The question asked Mr. Minister is, What is the average per kilometer? Engineer Seyi Makinde described him as dancing around. Well, and he answered that he was not dancing around. I'm now coming now because I expected him on afterthought to be able to pass across the real message here. The real message here is accountability. It's not answering or replying Engineer Seyi Makinde. That Engineer Seyi Makinde knocked him doesn't mean he's a saint too. We are talking about public accountability, because the fact that you are able to even state it the way it is still doesn't mean that you are clean. The fact that David Umahi is even able to give us the precise amount still doesn't mean that they are clean. But is the minimum Nigerian expect of the minister is to be able to tell us at any point in time in a way that average Nigerians will understand what he's talking about. What Rufai Oseni is doing is the work, the National Assembly, who has the oversight function over the Ministry of Works. They are the one that should be questioning and asking for such details. So Nigerians should be thanking Rufai Oseni, not condemning him. Nigerians should be asking Mr. Minister, you should be able to tell us how much of the public funds you're going to commit to these projects. Now, let's get this right. Even at 7.5 billion naira per kilometer, that is still 5.25 trillion naira. So there are still so many things, shielded in secrecy concerning this contract, concerning this project. The way it was easily approved as if it's a state of emergency on coastal road, kind of. And now, to be able to come out and tell us the average per kilometer is taking about a week before the minister for a project they have started and completed the first phase according to them. No, now, Abba, those are the things we should be asking. Nigerians must learn to ask the relevant questions from the public office holders. Not as if it's everything they just throw at us, we take them hook, line, and sinker. No, it shouldn't be. I hope Nigerians will wake up. I hope we'll get these things right. This is about public accountability. There's a lot of money involved in this project. And the way the project was hastily passed, and approved, it raised a lot of questions. You are going to pass 15 trillion naira worth of projects, and you could not even wait for the next budget dispensation. These are the things we are trying to bring to the attention of Nigerians. So it's not the issue of engineering. It's not the issue of professor of engineering or professor of engineering practice. David Umahi, as a two-term governor and a serving minister, supposed to know about public accountability. He's supposed to be able to break it down in a way average Nigerian will be able to understand. That's what we are talking about here. This is about public funds, for God's sake. For those of you knocking Rufai Oseni, I think you're just leaving to kill Lapa. You are leaving the graveyard matter here to run after trivialities. I'm so sorry. I'm just so sorry. Nigerians, we are not getting it right. We are not getting it right. Our focus should be public accountability. Don't let us get carried away, transported by the status of the minister. The minister is a public servant. He's a public servant. He appeared there as a public servant. If Rufai meets him in a club or somewhere else, maybe. But on that program, he appeared there as a public servant. And we should be able to question him anyhow we like. I will refer you to go and watch the parliamentary sittings at the House of Commons in the UK. You will see how they address the Prime Minister. maybe we begin to have understanding of who a public servant is. But in Nigeria, we get so carried away by the title of those people and the expectation we have of them when they are leaving, that they will give us brown envelope. So because of that, because you hear some interviewers calling public office holders, baba wa ti dé bí báyìí, somebody that is not even old enough to be your father, àwọn baba wa ti wà níkàlẹ̀. Nonsense. And we are so used to it, so we expect every interviewer to be saying, "Yeah, Your Excellency, Honorable Minister for Distinguished Minister for Works." All those nonsense, all the crap. Let's focus on the main thing here, is public accountability. When they come to the studio, it's either about their party issues or public accountability issues. So let's focus on that. It doesn't matter how the question is asked. Let them be humble enough to answer the questions and give us the precise answer. That's it. Otherwise, they are not competent. I think we need to get our facts right. We need to be focused. As we approach 2027, let's focus on the real matters and leave all this kindergarten debate about who is an engineer or who is senior in engineering, who is a student. Nonsense. Abba, well, until I come back your way, I am Rotimi Johnson Ojasope. Catch ya. See ya. Thank you.